Hey, hello. Thank you for coming by today. And today's video is going to be a little bit different than usual because it is going to be a tutorial on how to use one of my favorite ASMR microphones of all time, this one here, the Tascam DR-05X, DR-05X. Okay. I have had this microphone for over 4 years now. I was just looking at my Amazon account from when I first ordered it. I've had it for 4 years and it is one of my favorites. And regrettably, I don't use it as often as I would like. So I wanted to make this video in case you yourself are an ASMR creator and have also got this microphone or are thinking of getting this microphone and you want to know how to use it specifically for ASMR content. So I know that this is a pretty powerful mic and can do a lot of cool stuff, but as I have only used it to make ASMR videos, I will have limited instruction on its full functionality. It's probably a lot more cool stuff that it can do that I will not be covering in this video. But I hope this is a good little introduction to learn how to use this incredible mic. And if you do not create ASMR content yourself, but you're a fan of this microphone when other creators use it, I hope that at the very least you'll find this video interesting, might give you a bit of an appreciation for this mic, or that you'll find it super boring and monotonous as a tutorial that you can just put on in the background and fall asleep to or relax a little bit. So I hope that you like this video regardless of your purpose for being here. So as you can see, I'm using my Shure SM7B today, which is much more optimized for podcasting and other voice work other than ASMR. It is a dynamic microphone, so it's not picking up anything in my background because I will be shuffling around a little bit while I give this tutorial. And I will switch to use the Tascam a little bit later so that you can hear the difference in what this awesome mic actually sounds like. But just for the instructional purposes, I'll be talking into this mic for the tutorial. So the first thing that I'll say about this microphone is that it is relatively inexpensive for how awesome it sounds. I have had it for 4 years, which is crazy. And I definitely bought it for less than it's listed for now. But I just checked Amazon and it is currently listed for 149 Canadian dollars. So in USD, it's probably a bit closer to 100 US dollars. And it is extremely lightweight, and it actually runs on batteries, which you can see here. It takes 2 AA batteries, which means that it's completely portable, which is an incredible feature of this mic. And I think what its original intention was to be a field recorder because it's got the left and right sort of mic channels on either side here to capture all of the sounds around you. So if you take it outdoors, you can get all kinds of wonderful nature sounds with this microphone. So because it's battery operated, it is portable, which is incredible. And therefore, there is a slot here. There's a slot here for a micro SD card, which I think I have in here. It's a little tricky to get out with my nails though. So we have this teeny little micro SD card just like this. Teeny tiny little one, and it holds a ton of storage. What do I have here? 32 gigs. I've never come close to running out of space on here. So you just can slot that in the SD card slot, and then you can record audio anywhere that you take this mic with you. So I'd say that's the first advantage of this microphone for ASMR specifically, is that you have the ability to take a camera and this microphone with you to any quiet space that you have access to, instead of having to bring like a whole USB mic and laptop setup. You can eliminate your laptop altogether, and potentially just film using your phone or something else that's portable. And then you can record the audio on this separately and then synchronize it with your video later. So that's the first advantage of this microphone. And the other way that you can use it, though, is you can connect it to your computer via micro USB. So it's not USB-C, unfortunately. It's a micro USB, which I have right here just to show you. This is the wire that I bought separately for this microphone. So it's the one that looks like this. And then it just plugs directly into the side of the mic, and then you can connect it directly to your computer if you would like to record audio directly in OBS or Audacity or where else you'd like to record it. So very convenient if you record at home on your own computer with your camera set up like I have right now, and also convenient if you want to take it with you. So this is the microphone that I usually bring with me when I travel, though I haven't recorded much travel ASMR content in a long time. But it is relatively simple to use as well. There's not a lot of settings that you need to worry about. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just how to turn it on and how to use it as a portable microphone. So not connecting it to your computer, but just taking it with you. So the first thing that you'll probably want to do if you're using it for ASMR is to get a set of corded headphones so that you can monitor your voice while you're recording on the Tascam. So I've just got a spare pair right here that I'm just going to connect quickly. So you'll see that on the other side of the microphone here, there is a little spot for your headphones to go in right here. So you're just going to plug those in just like this. And then make sure you have 2 AA batteries in the Tascam before you try and turn it on, of course. And to turn it on, you simply hold down this button here, the power button. It looks like the stop button, but if you just hold it down, you will see the device turn on just like this. And when you press the record button for the first time, that is where you'll start to see the 2 audio channels sort of moving up and down so that you know that sound is coming into it. And it is at that point where you will be able to hear your own voice through your headphones if you have your headphones plugged into the mic. Now, you'll notice that the timer has not yet started. We've just sort of activated it by pressing the record button once. Then if you press it a second time, you'll see that this timer has started going. So I'm actually recording to the SD card inside the Tascam right now. So I can't hear myself because I have my headphones plugged into my interface so I can hear myself in this microphone. But if I'm talking in here like this, like this, like this, then that is actively recording to my Tascam right now. Then when you want to stop a recording that you've started, you simply press stop right here, and you'll notice that you're not seeing the channels going up and down anymore, which you would need to press record once again to see those moving, but it has not started the recording. And then you would press record again to activate the recording. Now, I believe if you're in the middle of recording and instead of pressing stop, you press the record button instead, I believe that pauses your file that you're recording in that moment, but I don't remember. Now, if you'd like to play back any of the recordings that you've taken on your Tascam while it's still portable, you can do that. And what you have to do is just press the menu button here, just like that. And then it will open this menu. It might start a bit higher at the top like this, but you're just going to use these plus and minus buttons to scroll through until you see where it says browse, and then just hit the play button in the middle. And as you can see, the two little recordings that I just took today are showing up on that list, and you simply press play on the one that you've got selected if you want to play it back. And then to get out of this menu, you just press menu twice and it goes backwards until you get to this regular screen. When you're ready to turn your device off, you just hold down the stop button again, which is also this power button here. Just hold that, and then you'll see it powering off like this. And it's as simple as that to use this as a portable field recorder mic when you're out and about making ASMR videos. So it's lovely. So next, if you do want to use this microphone to record directly to your computer and you want it to be discoverable as a microphone source, if you're recording into a software like Audacity or OBS, like I am right now, then this is the way that you do it. So you're going to start by getting a micro USB cord if you don't have one already. So it should have this type of plug at one end, the micro USB like this, and then it should have a USB-A or a USB-C connection at the other end, depending on, whether your computer is kind of old. It might have more USB-A ports than C, but I happen to have a USB-A port here. So you're just going to plug it directly into the correct port in your computer, just like that. And then you're going to take the micro USB and put it directly into this slot here on your Tascam, this one that says USB. So we're just going to plug that right in. Now, I chose to get an angled cord for my Tascam for a couple reasons. I just feel like it's a little bit more sleek next to the mic because I usually do record at home and prefer to record directly to my computer instead of having to record separately and synchronize the audio later. That one, although it's very convenient, is a bit more work. Whereas when I have it connected directly, I can record my audio and video together. So anyway, I got this angled cord because it kind of acts as like a little holder because it's just a little bit more comfortable when I'm moving around whispering with it to have it resting on my fingers like this. And it's also easier to kind of completely cover with your hand if you don't want it to be visible at all. So that's why I chose to get an angled one like this. So you want to make sure that that's connected. And then you'll notice that when we turn on the Tascam, just like we did before, we're going to hold down the power button again, and it'll start up as normal, but then you'll see some settings right at the start here. So you're going to use the little down minus button here and go down to this option, audio I/F, and then you're going to press play. And then you're going to go down to connect, play, and play again at execute. And now the audio is kind of coming through the mic already, and it is now connected to my computer so I can discover it as a device, which let me just double check whether that worked. It's been a while since I've done this. Yes, so it is now connected. I can find it under output device. So you can use it as your speaker technically. Like if you have your headphones plugged in, you'll be able to hear everything on your computer audio through this. But if you are recording in OBS, you're going to want to change your microphone source to the Tascam instead of whatever else you have by default. And then as soon as you do that and you have your headphones plugged in, you'll be able to hear your voice coming through the mics. And when you record directly to your computer, it'll be using the Tascam to get that. So it's really that simple. And when you want to disconnect it, you are simply going to hold down the power button again, just like before, and then it'll turn off just like before. So that's really it. It's just you have to do those couple little settings when you're first turning it on, when it's connected to your computer, to make sure that it's discoverable. There's a lot of other options on that menu that I have never played around with before. I have not had the need to. It does exactly what I need it to by turning it on that way, so it works for me. But now I'm just going to talk a little bit about actually using this microphone, because that's all the technical stuff to get it set up and actually recording sound. But when it comes to using this for ASMR, I have a few thoughts that I want to share with you. So the first thing I'll say is that this is an incredibly, incredibly sensitive microphone. Incredibly sensitive. It picks up every tiny little mouth sound, every breath, every peripheral sound, everything comes through these two channels. If you are trying to choose a relatively inexpensive USB microphone to get as much like left to right difference as possible, because you don't want to get a fancy double microphone binaural setup, this one is honestly incredibly close. You can get incredibly detailed sound in just one channel or the other that is quite distinct. It is much more separated sound than with my Blue Yeti on stereo mode, for example. So that's something that I really love about this. But like I said, it's incredibly sensitive. So with that, I need to say that if you are using this microphone indoors and you want really detailed, crisp, clear sound, you're gonna have to have a relatively quiet space. Otherwise, this thing is going to pick up every little nudge, like shuffle, thud, everything you're going to be able to hear on this mic when you use it. So if you have a really quiet space, this can be great for that. If you don't, there's a few things that you can do to dampen sound in your space, which I actually made a video about 8 tips to reduce noise. If you want to go watch that, I've never put a link to another video in a video, but maybe I'll put it here. I don't know how that works. So I did make that to help reduce sound in a space. But another tip is that if you are recording, or when you start recording, try to be completely silent for at least 10 seconds at the start of a new recording, because then at least you can do a bit of like specific noise reduction to help get rid of any sort of background hum. But if you're somewhere with really like loud and chaotic sounds, this is going to pick up everything. So if you do want to record outside, then this isn't the worst thing, because it can be kind of a vibe. Like if you want to go down to the creek and record some whispering, but still get all the like nature sounds, this would be really good for that. But if there's really like unpleasant ambient sound, this is going to pick up everything. But if it's like good ambient sound, then this will be an awesome mic for that. So that's what I wanted to say there. Incredibly sensitive, really good left to right isolation, but does pick up everything. So it's best in a quiet space or somewhere with good ambient background noise. I hope that makes sense. And the other thing that I will say is that it is really prone to plosives. So, like, because it's so sensitive, every little whoosh of wind that comes from your mouth is going to make it like crackle a little bit in what it records. So, if you are trying to record kind of straight on, like not have too much separation, you don't want to hold it too close to your mouth. You can hold it a little bit further away so that wind passes over both of these mics and doesn't make that annoying crackly poofy sound. Or if you are going from left to right, try not to talk directly into the mic like this. Let your kind of air pass the side of it like this instead. So if you're whispering from side to side, doing little mouth sounds, things like that, keeping it kind of where your breath is coming out and passing over the microphone instead of going directly into it like this, because that'll be way too sensitive. Trying to think of like some of the best stuff that I've done with this. I would say because of the way that this works, my ear cleaning videos are always best using this microphone, because you can, I forgot to mention that you can mount it to a tripod like this. It's got that little sort of mount screw here, so you can mount it to a tripod really easily. And then I like to kind of perch it on my desk like this, and then you can get really detailed for doing little ear cleaning vids like this. And when you run the fluffy wand over it, it crackles and makes a wonderful sound. And then it'll sound totally separate if you do it on the other mic after. And I guess the next thing I should mention is how you actually want to position this when you're recording. So if I'm recording an ear cleaning video, I have my microphone situated like this, where the screen is facing me, not towards the camera. And I have my camera in reverse. So I have my camera mirrored and I have the mic facing me. That way, when my headphones are plugged in and I'm monitoring my own voice in the Tascam, this side will be aligned with my left ear and this side will be aligned with my right ear. And then I'll also see myself mirrored so that it's easier to monitor the video at the same time. But then when you go to edit your video, you are going to need to flip your camera if you don't want it to be mirrored. And then you will need to flip your audio as well. Otherwise, it's going to sound like it's coming out of the wrong ear. It's a relatively easy step to do, at least in DaVinci Resolve, which is the editing software that I use. So in this case, the left, you want to align with what you're looking at so that when you're monitoring it, it's coming out of the right ear. So the left and the right, which is why you want to face it towards you when you're recording. But yeah, this microphone is incredible. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something about it, but I hope that that was useful for you to learn about how to get it set up, what it's good for, and just overall how to use it. And now I will do a tiny little sampler at the end of this by using the Tascam audio so that you can hear how deliciously delicate and wonderful the sound is. So I'm going to switch to that right now. Boop. Hey. Now, as you can tell, I have switched the audio to the Tascam, so you can hear a bit better separation between left, and right. Well, that's your left and right, but this is my left, and this is my right. You might hear a little bit of murmuring going on in the house because, like I said, this microphone picks up absolutely everything. And you can catch a few of those plosives. But like I said, if you're talking so much for